What's going on, family? Nathaniel with Dysfunctional Life and Wellness, and I just want to come to you really quickly and talk to you about the power of surrender. And it's the power of surrender in the face of that which could offend you. There's a phrase in the yogic traditions, and the phrase is Ishvara Pranidhana. And it literally means the power of surrender. Surrendering to the divine, surrendering to the source, creative source, the spirit source, however you want to word that. Surrendering to the power that is larger than who you are, but is ultimately everything that you are. We're talking about being offended. And there's an ancient word in our ancient traditions about the word offense, and the word literally means to using the breath. It's an action. Using the breath, bringing things to desolateness or to ruin. It literally means to blow something dry. And what happens is when we are offended is that something takes our breath away. Something dries us up. We lose a part of ourselves when we submit to being offended. The reason why we are offended is primarily one reason. We have an attachment on a frequency level to that which is being introduced. In other words, the statement, the comment, whatever, found a place to land in a belief system we have not dealt with. And I'm telling you that surrender in these moments is the power to heal. There was an issue that happened a few years back, about a little over 10, 15 years ago. And I was working in a computer shop, and it was a multicultural sort of environment. We had all pitched in for some lunch, and it was just me and one other black guy in there. And both of us, we pitched in an equal amount. Everybody pitched in an equal amount for lunch. And the pizzas came in. I think it was pizza. It was a new pizza shop, so we're trying it out. Everybody put in enough money to get a couple slices out of that order. And for whatever reason, the white gentleman blamed this other guy for taking extra slice of pizza. And the guy, he spoke up for himself. He said, "No, I did not take an extra slice. I only took what my money allowed for." And the guy, instead of allowing it to stay there, this white gentleman decided to up the ante. And he said, "Well, I don't believe you. And what if I called you a nigger?" And of course, my ears perked up. I'm in my room, and I'm in my tech room just doing my work. And I was like, whoa, did he really just say that? And this gentleman did absolutely nothing. This black guy, he shrugged it off. He literally was like, nothing. And normally when you do something like that with someone who is egotistical, okay, the ego will up the ante because it needs a response. It needs a reason to be. So he said, "Well, what if I called you a bitch ass nigga?" And this gentleman, at this point he spoke up, but he said the antithesis of what I thought he was going to say. He said, back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, I'd have jumped all over you for that. But that's beneath me now. I'm above all that. And walked off. Completely dissolved the situation by surrendering in power. That is the power we possess. To stand in the face of the things that would offend us and be ultimately, completely, authentically who we are. At the core, at the source. Not who we are in identity of the paradigms that we were downloaded with. That man was above any statement that could have marked him for anything. He was above it all. And it's these moments, if we're attentive to them, it's the moments that we choose to change that become the moments that change our lives. This is how we stand in the face of offense. He gave the statement, no place to land, therefore there was no reason to be offended. Ladies and gentlemen, I am inviting you to do what I did. I took that situation, and from that day forward, I took that as a power move. That became a power statement for me. I'm above all of that. And I literally began to live my life as if petty things like that that came into my life to be offensive were beneath me. Because they are. I don't practice allowing outside energies to affect my internal climate. Because I'm a responsible co-creator. And in being a responsible co-creator, it requires that you own your power. I hope this helps you when you look at the thing that offends you and you ask yourself the question, what do I want? What do I believe? And what are my choices? And when you're able to answer those three questions authentically and answer them from the core, separate from the paradigm, you will have found the power that is ultimately you to dissolve that which could offend us. Offense only happens in the past. But to be present, offense has no place to sit. Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to raise, shift, heal, and change. Thank you for your time. Namaste.